Hello, chess fans! Today I would like to show you the game from the German Bundesliga, the second round, between the grandmasters Jan Smeets and Vladimir Epishin. They played some modern defense with some uh, unnatural approach from Epishin. We will see in a few moves. Well, and after knight to c6, that's a completely new game because Epishin tried a really unorthodox moves. But we will see how it continues. Queen to e2, knight e7, castling. Now puts the rook on the right way because on d1 there should be no future for the rook. Because even if the black tries to change the pawns, you will never take with the d pawn. You will always take with the f pawn to freeze your bishop to the king side. Well, rook c8, queen f2, and now bishop takes on e4. Yeah, the knight on e4 square was great, and maybe he annoys the black so much that he will give up the bishop pair, and in a close position there is no such a value in a bishop pair. Well, now white takes with queen d7, and white started the attack. Now there is very hard to tell black what he should play, because white wants to put the g5, queen h4, and then travel with the rook on h3 and give the mate on h7. That's the simple plan, and black has to move something, so he finds a good way with f5. Now white is logically open up the position for his bishops, and there we are on move 20, and already Jan Smeets has 5 minutes to go, plus increments of course, but yeah, that's a serious time trouble, and maybe that's why he plays the bishop to c1. Now black started some play on the queen side with another sequence. Yeah, the bishop takes his place on g2, the defensive place. The other way was to put the bishop across the c2, b3, but black can prevent the go to this diagonal with a4, so white tries to go to the defense with the bishop. Now some exchange of pawns, and yeah, black has some options made on his queen side, and yeah, I have to say he was till now good playing, but he has the very big weakness on e6, so it's up to white to handle with this position and to capitalize on e6 square. Now h6, knight to e4, rook takes, and now white in the time trouble realized that it's not so easy to capitalize on the e6 square, so he tried another plan. He will double the rooks on f file. Now he had doubled, and now it's fantastic move to the time trouble. Black fires with the c5. Yeah, it opens up the diagonal for his bishop, and Now white takes, and yeah, that must be taken as a mistake with knight g3, and uh, you obviously see the pin after the knight takes. There is a pin with the bishop on d4, and white is yeah, the exchange would fallen. But I think so that white, even if the hardest time trouble, he had to see it, that there will come the pin. But he had great intuition that the bishop is a great defender, and without his bishop, black will be in serious problems. Well, let's see. Knight takes, queen takes, and knight kicks up the queen from this pin, and black pins from d4. Now king h1, bishop takes, queen takes. And now black logically tries to change the queen, because he is up in exchange in the game, and without the queens it would be a very tough task for white to finish the game with a good result. So he goes with queen a2, queen a1, sorry, and black takes the pawn. Now there are some perpetual, and there white could take the draw with the bishop to a3, but he realized that even if he is now exchange and a pawn down, this knight is really bad, and the four black pawns are really weak. So he tried bishop takes a5. Well, the decision to continue with the game was correct, but the way the bishop went is not the right course. He would better try f5 and take the course on h6. We will show the variation. Well, and there we will see that the material is really even, and the only one who can pretend to the advantage is white, and he really has the advantage. Maybe some winning advantage, I have to say. But the decision was to take on a5. Queen c4, and now finally gets the right way. But now black, look at his knights, and I will show you a few moves later. Knight to b4, knight e4, coming to a fork. Well, gets out of this fork on d6, and now queen h3. Queen h3, it is a mistake, because the queen should go to h4. Look at this. There is yeah, normal move now is knight to g6, but after knight f6 check, king f7, white can play queen to g3, and after king takes, there is a great move f5. Now opens the diagonal for the queen and the f file for the rook, and with the bishops there is no chance for black to hold it. So queen h4 was right better than queen h3. Well, let's see. Knight to d5, now f5, very good move. But now black has an opportunity to play the great defensive move knight to f6. Well, compare with the queen on h4. There couldn't be played the knight on f6, because white could easily take it. And now white played the losing move, knight to d6. Well, he he want to take the queen, of course, but yeah, look on these knights. I will show you some moves back. When you show this position and when you show this position, the knights are really winning now for black. Now white has to cover the f2 place, and now black played well, looks like fantastic move, queen c1. Well, white cannot take even with the bishop, even with the rook, due to the fork on f2. But if I give you a few seconds, you will surely find a better move for black, after which white should resign right now. Well, everyone surely find queen a2. Yeah, look at it. The rook from g7 came to g2, and this bishop is threatened with the knight. So white has no real good move because the bishop cannot go everywhere due to the fork on f2. Well, that's really trouble for white. But black chosen the queen to c1, rook takes, now the fork. Well, and I have to say this position is already easily won for black. And if they will play in the normal game, white, I think white would give up at this place. But in a team games, you need to play, and even if in this position the game stand, the match stand was 3.5 against 3.5. So Smeets, yeah, has to play, and yeah, but the fight is already over because the material advantage. Sorry, there is the knight to c4, knight to d3, check. Well, Epishin tried to gain some time and finally went into the corner. And there, due to the checkmate threat, he has to give up the bishop for the knight. But yeah, as I said, the fight is already over because the material advantage is really huge. Yeah. Now the king came to some vulnerable position. And black played it really precisional. Gave up no chance for white, no real chance to fight for a draw. And at this position, white realizes that it's all over because the king is in optimal position, and after knight moves, there would be in a few moves out for white. So yeah, great game, great middle game from both, I have to say. But Smeets made the big mistake, and yeah, black was happy, of course, with this point for his team, and his team won the match 4.5, 3.5. Thank you for watching, and see you soon.